So here we are at Venue Cymru. It is the third sector conference with CVSC and I'm joined by Jason. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. Now, you've just come out of a session which has been talking about cost of living crisis, how to get services from other organisations in the community. Give me an overview about what the session was all about and how it all worked.
Well, it's a difficult session to plan because what I didn't want it to be was a poverty safari. And I think that, we all know what the problems are. And part of the reason that the job as the community support hub exists within CVSC is networking all these different organisations together. And people don't necessarily know where to go. Even organisations, they don't know where to go to get support from different things. So what I tried to do was just lead a conversation, hopefully a positive one, where organisations can network and talk to each other and ask questions, and then we wrote everything down on a flip chart paper as we went along, and then so people can take a photo at the end and take away that information with them. And I think that it's important that that information sharing process does actually take place. There's a lot of people nowadays will have multiple complex needs, and no one organisation can deal with it. However, if you can go somewhere and know that you're going to get support, you can tell your story once, and that it's going to be acted upon and that story is going to be passed, because it's so difficult to approach organisations for help. And, if we can make that easier as a group, as a network, then it can only be for the benefit of society.
So is that really sort of one of the central roles of the community hub then, to be a sort of a one-stop shop for information and services and I guess signposting to an extent?
It actually says on our flyer, one-stop shop. So yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head there, well done. Because again, we drown in information nowadays. There's all this information out there. Where do you go to get it? Everything's thrown up on Facebook nowadays and then that's it. And if you're not on the internet, if you're not on Facebook, if you miss the post even, you're not going to see anything, you're not going to know what's going on. So we try to be, as best we can, a repository for all this information, and so people can phone us up, and even if it's just to ask, do you know where my nearest, knitting circle is? Or it might be something as much as, whatever, even the most serious issues that people have in life.
And have you seen a massive increase in demand for the community hub in recent years, I guess, as a result of everything that's going on with the economy and the squeeze on people's pockets?
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier on about the cost of living crisis, and I asked the question, is there a cost of living crisis? And I would argue that for some members of our communities, there's not a cost of living crisis. It's a cost of existing crisis.
That's very sobering, isn't it?
It's massively sobering. 3 in 50 people are thinking about taking their own lives due to the cost of living crisis. And that is not just sobering, it's heartbreaking. 45% of kids in Wales, aged between 7 and 11, are worried about food. Half the kids in primary school are worried about food. What does that say to us about society?
That shows, doesn't it, why it's so important to share information between organisations so that people that do need help can get pointed in the right direction.
It is comforting to know that we provide a service. I mean, say comforting, got to be careful what I say there. It's not about how I sleep at night. It's about knowing that what I've done has helped someone else sleep that night. It's easy to fall into a trap, I think, sometimes of doing things because it makes you feel better about yourself. But I do care about other people, and the rest of the team at CVSC do, and especially the others that work with me, Mark and Sarah on the Community Support Hub. They're fantastic. But it is all about making sure that people have access to good quality information and that they have that support and that they're able to hopefully start getting their lives back on track if that's the direction that it's intended to go.
So how do you create awareness of the community hub? Do you go to shopping centres, to libraries, into community spaces and, get awareness that way?
Yeah, we tend to use leaflets wherever possible, back to the old school, and people say, it's very wasteful. It's easier for someone to pick up a leaflet, stick it in their pocket. They might pick it up at a doctor's surgery, in a shop, wherever it may be. They can take it home, they can process it, they can think about trying to give that number a call. one of the things we have done recently is to do with pension credits. And it's easy enough to maybe book a community centre. It's easy enough to book a hall. It's easy enough to book a whatever it may be, a library. But it's not where people go. So we put ourselves where people go. We've done one in Llandudno. We went to a coffee morning for older people, and there was a warm hub space in the afternoon. So we stayed around for that. Helped a load of people try to get their pension credits, potentially. Again, we did the same thing in Llanrwst, where we set up in the doorway of the shop where people walked past us and made sure it was market day. And then we're doing another one in Colwyn Bay next week, outside Morrison's. So it is important, I think, to put yourself where people are and not expect people to come to you. Everyone's got a busy life, regardless of what's going on. Everyone's busy, and we just try and, open that door and just say to people, come and see us if you want. Here's our phone number, but just to put ourselves in an accessible position, because I think that's the best way of reaching people.
And of course, if people want to reach you directly, they can get in touch with you at CVSC.
Yeah, we originally set it up, when it was originally set up, I should say. When it was originally set up, it was set up as the COVID support hub, and the money came from Welsh Government through Betsy Cadwaladr. So basically what we did was a couple of phone numbers. And one's a landline, which is 01492 523 853. And the other is a mobile phone, because we do realise for some people it is difficult to start a conversation. So they can text, they can WhatsApp, and we will always reply. But the number for that is 07429 503 303. So people are more than welcome to get in touch wherever they like.